In a span of just 2 months during the 2024 U.S. presidential campaign, former President Donald Trump narrowly survived 2 assassination attempts. These incidents not only shocked the nation but revealed the dark undercurrents of political polarization. Both attempts came at crucial moments during Trump's comeback campaign, placing both his life and his political aspirations in grave danger. Both attempts came at crucial moments during Trump's comeback campaign, placing both his life and his political aspirations in grave danger. It was July 2024, and Donald Trump was on the campaign trail, addressing an energetic crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania. Among the crowd stood Thomas Crooks, a 20-year-old who would soon attempt to alter the course of U.S. history. As Trump delivered his speech, Crooks opened fire. Shots rang out, sending the rally into chaos. Fortunately, none of the bullets hit their intended target, as Trump was quickly ushered to safety by the Secret Service. Crooks, though young and with no significant criminal history, had grown increasingly frustrated with the state of the nation under Trump's leadership. Political discourse had escalated to such a fever pitch that Crooks believed violent action was his only recourse. Crooks wasn't known for violence prior to the attempt, but his growing discontent with Trump's policies and the media's portrayal of the president likely radicalized him. It's a phenomenon we've seen more frequently in recent years. The day before Thomas Crooks made his attempt on Trump's life, a mysterious financial move raised eyebrows in financial circles. Austin Private Wealth App, a company linked to Blackrock, placed a staggering 12 million share put option, betting that the stock associated with Trump ticker symbol DJT would plummet. The trade, worth an eye-watering $360 million, was unusual not just because of its size, but because of its timing. One day before an attempt on a former president's life, App placed a bet against Trump's stock. The optics were damning. You don't see a bet like that every day, especially against such a politically charged stock. It was either an incredibly risky move or someone had knowledge of an upcoming event that could destabilize markets. Either way, it raised a lot of questions. When news broke of the assassination attempt, conspiracy theories began to fly. Was the put option related to the shooting? Did someone at App or Blackrock have advanced knowledge of the attack? Faced with mounting public scrutiny, App claimed that the trade was a mistake. According to their official statement, they had inadvertently made the transaction, an excuse that did little to quell public suspicions. But what remained undeniable was the staggering amount of money involved, $360 million at stake, based on a belief that Trump's stock would nosedive. 2 months later, another assassination attempt unfolded, this time in West Palm Beach, Florida. On a warm September day in 2024, Ryan Wesley Routh, a 58-year-old with a history of criminal behavior and political disillusionment, set his sights on Trump. Routh was discovered lurking in the underbrush near Trump's golf course. He was armed with an AK-47 and a GoPro, ready to film the assassination and stream it to the world. Fortunately, the Secret Service detected the threat before Routh could execute his plan. Routh fled the scene but was captured shortly after by local authorities. His motivations, while complex, were rooted in a growing hatred for Trump's policies. Routh had once supported Trump but had since turned against him, criticizing the former president's handling of foreign affairs, especially the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Routh represents the dangers of political extremism. He started as a supporter of Trump, but when his expectations weren't met, he became radicalized and convinced that violence was the only solution. Both Crooks and Routh were products of a politically divided nation. In the years leading up to 2024, the rhetoric surrounding Trump and his policies had reached unprecedented levels. To his supporters, Trump was a champion of American values, but to his detractors, he was a dangerous threat to democracy. This polarization created fertile ground for extremists on both sides. As political discourse became more heated, individuals like Crooks and Routh felt increasingly justified in their belief that violence was an acceptable means to achieve political change. Critics of Trump labeled him a dictator and compared him to historical tyrants. This kind of incendiary rhetoric, some experts argue, played a role in pushing unstable individuals toward violent action. When you have years of political figures and media personalities calling someone the greatest threat to democracy, it's not surprising that some people take that to heart. It creates an environment where they feel justified in extreme actions. As details of the assassination attempts emerged, the financial world braced for impact. The 12 million share put placed by Austin Private Wealth made waves, especially when it became clear that App, who had shorted Trump's stock just before the first shooting, Though App claimed that the transaction was a mistake, the market repercussions were immediate. Trump's stock, which had been riding high on his popularity among voters, saw a momentary dip. Still, questions lingered about whether the transaction had truly been an error or if there was something more sinister at play. You don't accidentally place a trade worth $360 million. This wasn't some minor clerical error. This was a major financial move that just so happened to coincide with a significant political event. Regardless of a PBU's intentions, the timing of the transaction one day before an assassination attempt was impossible to ignore. It added yet another layer of intrigue to an already complex and deeply troubling series of events. Despite the attempts on his life, Trump remained undeterred. He continued his campaign with renewed vigor, portraying himself as a survivor in the face of growing political hostility. But these events served as a wake-up call for the nation. The violence of Crooks and Routh, coupled with the shadowy dealings of Austin private wealth, highlighted the dangers of political extremism and the need for accountability both in politics and finance. The stories of Thomas Matthew Crooks and Ryan Wesley Routh reveal the toxic environment created by extreme political divisions. Their actions, while shocking, serve as a reminder of the importance of measured discourse and the peril of letting rage dictate action. As for the financial world, the $360 million bet against Trump's stock made by Austin private wealth remains a stark example of the complex intersections between politics and finance. The events surrounding the assassination attempts on Donald Trump in 2024 reveal the intersection of politics, finance, and extremism. The shooters, Thomas Matthew Crooks and Ryan Wesley Routh, both acted out of disillusionment and desperation, while the financial markets reacted in ways that only added to the mystery. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What do these events say about the current state of politics in America? Be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more in-depth analyses of the issues that matter. Thank you for watching.